So dementia is the single biggest illness. So more people die from dementia than, for instance, from all the major cancers together. Around 1 million people in the UK are affected by dementia.
This was Dr Christian Morgner from the University of Sheffield. He's been studying dementia for 15 years, and his latest innovation, called Tasty Spoon, addresses often overlooked issue of malnourishment in dementia. How can a simple spoon help with dementia?
When I started exploring issues around dementia, I had also a real interest in how can we better understand how it impacts people's lives, using like these technologies. On one of the occasions, I was in a care home and actually sharing lunch with people with dementia, and we got a bit chatting. As it is when you talk about lunch, right? You ask how's the food and do you enjoy it and so forth. A very common standard was like where everybody in the table would say, no, we don't really enjoy it. And, I was asking, so why is that? And, people were all kind of saying, we can't really taste it anymore.
People with dementia can experience taste loss as an early sign of the disease.
Malnourishment has quite a serious impact on your overall well-being. So we know that, for instance, it can undermine your immune system. I realized the impact of this is really quite drastic, and it's not just nutrition, it's all these other aspects.
So what can we do? Well, for every research, there is a personal story, and for Christian, unforeseen accident had led him to some discoveries.
Happened also at the time while I was working on this project. I actually had myself a sports accident and I was quite in pain. I remember it was really unpleasant. In order to help with the healing of the muscles that had injured, I had to undergo electrostimulation. I chatted a lot with the sports doctor who treated me for this one, and he explained to me what electrostimulation does. And so that got me thinking, is there something in there that could also be quite relevant for people with dementia.
This led Christian to his Tasty Spoon project, which takes a scientific approach to its design.
There was, some research also explored what would happen if you stimulate someone's tongue, what would happen in the brain. So, how will their brain perceive this? And we could see that when the tongue is stimulated in a certain way, that actually it would elicit that interpretation in the brain. So I got it here with me, and then obviously, the main idea was how can we create a spoon that will do this kind of stimulation. So as you can see, at the lower end of the spoon you have these kind of mental contact parts, so when these go into your mouth, then they will provide a very safe form of electrostimulation that will reactivate these taste buds.
How much does the Tasty Spoon cost?
It will be a price similar to an electric toothbrush. So something, I think, as a ballpark figure, probably between £25 to £40.
Are you planning on trying to implement them in the care homes?
The idea is, in terms of implementation, that probably initially we will start with care homes. But that's only half of the population impacted by dementia, at least in the UK, that are currently in care homes. So we also need, and currently I'm exploring other ways to bring it to people who are cared for at home. And that could be like your traditional pharmacy.
Currently, the waiting times for dementia diagnosis are 2 years. Can we use AI to detect dementia early on?
In terms of assisting with the diagnosis, there's definitely potential for AI to help.
My name's Caitlin Illingworth. I'm a PhD student in the Department of Neuroscience at the University of Sheffield. There aren't currently any treatments for dementia in the UK, but the US just authorised lecanemab, which is a drug that can slow the rate of cognitive impairment. But it only works if someone's caught at the very early stages of the disease. So if in the future the UK actually does license this drug, it would only work in those who are detected at the very early stage. And if there's that 2-year wait, it's unlikely they're going to be caught that early. CognoSpeak is an online digital assessment tool where someone can speak to a virtual agent. Their speech is recorded and then analysed, and that is a way for us to detect potential memory impairments. If CognoSpeak were to work and the AI can do it instead, it's saving a lot of doctors' times, so clinicians wouldn't have to be administering the assessment. They could kind of just interpret the results that come out.
Well, this is very exciting, and I think it brings a lot of hope for new innovative ways for managing dementia care and diagnosis.